This is Echeveria Afterglow. Doesn't have a common name that I'm aware of, but Echeveria is a family of succulents mainly native to Mexico, as I understand it. And this is one eye-catching hybrid here. This is in my garden in a pot, and as you can see, it's blooming. It has amazing red flowers, as you see there. This was taken during late July. It is late August right now. They are still going strong. So you've got that gray, blue, pink hue going in on this foliage, and the colors of this plant are just something to behold. I'm test growing it, so I'm going to speak with what limited knowledge I have of it now and what I've read. One of my best sources for this is a grower called San Marcos Growers out of the Santa Barbara area, and I'll refer to some of their information. But so this is 12 to 16 inches in diameter and tall. They recommend actually that while it's blooming, well, if it goes into bloom, that you remove the flower stalks. I wanted to see what this does when it blooms, and so it's been blooming for about a month since I put it in, well, this season. And you see the foliage at the bottom there. Some of it's kind of tired looking. There's a yellow leaf that's starting to decompose, and that's what's starting to happen. And this is true for a lot of plants. A lot of times when they're allowed to flower and then go to seed, they will start to give up the foliage on the plant to put all their energy into seed production. Most succulents produce asexually. They spread or they clump or colonize, but most of them also flower, and that's their second form of reproduction, where they'll produce a seed and drop those seeds if they're allowed to. And you'll also see that a lot of them look really bad when they go to flower, and it's because they're putting all that energy into the flower and seed production. So that's use your own judgment kind of a thing. They are right that the leaves, I just looked at them yesterday, and they're looking pretty tired. The center of the plant still looks good, but overall the plant's starting to suffer. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and see how much longer I'm willing to let it go into go downhill on me, but I think I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger on that and deadheading the flower stalks. So succulents like this that are larger, the way I like to use them, and I'm fairly new to succulent designing with succulents and plant design. They have such strong character. These larger ones like this, they're great, but they're not that tall, so what you pair them with is pretty tricky. Generally in my designs I've been pairing them with other succulents that are even lower, but here you see where I've put them in a pot with some other things just to see how it play the interplay with some of the green foliages and flowers that are in this pot. And I would say that's really an experimental kind of thing. I will tell you about habit. These are what these things need. So they like it warmer. They don't like well-drained soils. Echeveria in general want well-drained soils. They don't need a lot of water. This is in a pot, so it drains well and it does not hold a lot of water, which is good, and it seems to like that situation. And then they like full sun, although this is tolerant of part shade. So those are the main things to think about. And also Echeveria, my experience is the deer leave those alone. There's not a lot of maintenance because there's not a lot going on. Cutting off the flower stalks obviously doesn't take very long, and that's about it in terms of maintenance. So that's what I can tell you about Echeveria Afterglow. Amazing little succulent, and one I highly recommend if it's something that'll work in your area. Enjoy.